So this is the story of how we met. I've never lived outside of North Carolina my whole life. And I had just left the school that I'd been at for 16 years. And I had accepted a position because I just threw it out there because I love Florida. I love South Florida. I love the beach. And I thought, why not wait? I thought about waiting till retirement to move down here, but I'm like, why wait till then? Let's just see what happens. So I got offered a position at a school on Marco Island. And so they flew me down for a week in the summer to work. And I actually had a Tinder profile. And I've been looking for that perfect man, and North Carolina just didn't produce. So I decided to while I was in Naples working that week, to set my profile to Naples just to see what popped up.
What popped up? So... Got a little excited for a second.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So my part of the story is I just after my divorce, I just wasn't finding anyone that was right. I guess. I don't know. I just thought maybe I just would take a shot in the dark. And because my friend Chelsea and Nick found each other through an app, I figured if they can do it and they're doing so well together, I figured maybe I can do it. So I was like, let me try this Tinder app. Downloaded it. Didn't want to put a whole lot of information about myself on there, so I really didn't I put nada.
Nothing.
And just 2 pictures of myself because I just wanted to see what was available. Or I guess that sounds wrong. Not like a buffet, but
basically this part. Basically what it was.
What was there?
Yeah.
I guess to choose from. So I started doing some swiping and stuff, and then I saw David's picture there, and his picture, he was holding Cooper, and I'm a dog lover. And just the picture itself just brought a smile on my face. So I went ahead and swiped right on him. And I went to bed. And the very next morning, I usually get up pretty early, around 6:30, 7. I woke up to 184 notifications.
I wonder why. I mean, look at him.
I was a bit overwhelmed by it all. And the first message was David, and
it really wasn't a message. It was the fact that I'd swiped right back on you.
Oh, so the first person to swipe right back was David. I honestly don't remember anything about Tinder because I literally uploaded it one night at 11 o'clock and deleted it the next day after I spoke to David. Basically telling him, hey, I'm going to delete this app. Here's my number. If you want to text me, go ahead. If not, no big deal. But I'm deleting this app.
And so I, at that point, had just flown back to Raleigh to get things in order in North Carolina before I moved. And so I woke up that morning and I had just flown back and I saw him and just his 2 pictures, nothing else. Thought he was fake. But he swiped right on me, thought he was hot. I mean, look at him. So I was like, well, might as well give it a shot. So I swiped right on him. And then he sent me that message. And then I asked to do more than I gave him my number back. And then I asked to do more than just talk or text. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being catfished and to make sure that he was real. So I asked him if he would FaceTime with me.
So I thought it was kind of weird, but because I didn't even know him, and I was like, all right, well, I guess go ahead and FaceTime, but I'm a little quiet at first, so I'm not really sure what to say to someone who I don't even really know, let alone just met on an app. So he FaceTimed me
that night,
and I said hi, and he said hello in this deep Southern accent. And the first question that came out of my mouth was, "Do you happen to drive a truck?" He said, "Yeah, why?" I was like, "No reason. I think the voice just goes with the truck. That's why." And he's like, "Wow, you're real." And I was like, "Yep, last time I checked, I was real."
And so we
Yep.
started talking and FaceTiming every day since, for a while.
Yeah. And we got to know each other through that actually really well. It's probably, honestly, probably one of the best ways to ever meet somebody is just the only ways you get to meet them is just through talking. I mean, you get to talk to the person, FaceTime the person, text person. And we were doing that quite a bit, like every day.
Because we were 12 hours,
probably
14 hours apart.
5 to 6 times of FaceTiming, texting nonstop. And I would call him like on my way to work, or he would call me.
So then, many of you probably would like to know when we met in person. So I was planning on moving down here the 1st of August. And this was in the middle of COVID. I didn't have anybody to help me because of that. And so I didn't know anybody here in Florida except for him, and starting a brand new life down here. And so he actually volunteered to fly up to Raleigh. Well, I lived in Fuquay-Varina, which nobody knows, and help me move and help me finish packing and help me move, and thought that would be a great way for us to get to know each other a little bit more in person.
Yeah.
Because it was a
doing
long
a
drive.
road trip on the way back to Naples, Florida from Fuquay-Varina,
Yep.
North Carolina.
So he got off the plane and he wanted me to, I told him I'd be in the airport parking lot, and he wanted me to be standing against my truck, waiting on him.
Go that much into detail.
Well, that's true. So I did. I texted him and told him where I was, and then I saw him walking toward me, and I couldn't stand against my truck anymore. Like, I had to meet him halfway. And as soon as I wrapped my arms around him, then that's when I knew that he was stop, that he was the one for me.
I think you cried.
I did. I cried. Of course, I cry all the time, but I cried and I said, "You are real," and the rest is history. And now, the engagement. So, my birthday is September 6th, and Adrian wanted to take me away for my birthday to the Keys, and but what he didn't know was I was planning on proposing to him the day before my birthday on September 5th, because that's my parents' 50th wedding anniversary on that day. And of course, they're back in North Carolina. They're celebrating there. I can't be there because of COVID. And I figured that if my parents were together for 50 years, then that would be a good omen for me to propose to him. So at the resort where we were staying, I had everything lined up. The manager had everything, was helping me. I had the photographer ready, and things just kind of went haywire.
I didn't want to stay in a room that didn't have AC, so I complained.
He complained a lot, even in Spanish,
Yeah.
a lot. Because when he gets hot, he gets mad.
Yeah. I even told David to step outside in the balcony because I was like, there's a side of me that you're probably not going to want to see or hear. So I told him to step outside. And he said, no. I was like, okay then.
Because I'm thinking to myself, I need to see what I'm marrying into here.
So basically, to make a long story short, we left the hotel that and he had this whole plan of proposing to me at this hotel, but I said I'm fed up with this place. I got all my money back, and I said we're going to someplace else that I found one morning when I was on my way to Starbucks.
Which was amazing, by the way.
Beautiful.
Yes.
All
Love it.
inclusive, by the way.
Adults only.
Dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all the drinks, everything's included. But when we made it to this place, he's like, we're gonna go back to that one restaurant that we made a reservation at, right? And I was like, no, because this is all inclusive and this is really nice. So,
Which I lied to him and told him that I had pulled some strings because, this restaurant has been booked up for months and had to make some special arrangements for us to get a reservation at this restaurant. And then I was going to propose to him after that at the gazebo, overlooking the ocean.
So he was quiet in the room, and I was like, you really want to go back to that restaurant, don't you? And he said, yeah. I was like, well, it is your birthday, and I want to make it special, so let's go back to that one restaurant. I'm fine if they spit in my food because I yelled at the manager, but I'll take some spit to make him happy. So we went back, and
Not one person was in this restaurant, by the way.
yeah, I was like, I don't know why we need a reservation for this place.
I was like,
We're the only two people
This
there.
is not helping my story at all with him. Nobody was there.
And he went, it was upstairs, and he's like, oh, they're about to FaceTime me for my parents' 50th anniversary. So he went downstairs, and that part was true. Then he came back upstairs, and he took a swig of his drink, and he's like, oh, now my niece is FaceTiming. So he goes back downstairs again. I'm like, man, for somebody who really wanted to come to this restaurant, sure isn't, paying attention to it or, enjoying it. And I guess that second FaceTime wasn't a real FaceTime. It was when...
I had to go down to make sure that the gazebo where I was going to propose to him in was clear, and make sure, because I'd been messaging the photographer too, to make sure she was ready. And then I got downstairs and there were people in the gazebo. And I walked in the gazebo and there was a young couple, and the father had the dog, and the wife at that very moment was breastfeeding her child in the gazebo. And I asked them if they would mind leaving because I was about to propose to my fiance in this very gazebo and I needed it empty. And they were very, very nice. Actually, they stayed around to watch the proposal, which I thought was sweet. The restaurant people saw it, but after dinner, we were about to leave, and
Oh, and he wanted to show me, he's like, let's go walk to the gazebo before we leave. I'm like, okay. So we go over there, and he calls my name, and I go in. He starts holding my hand and starts saying something to me, but I looked over and I saw a woman with a camera, and I was like, babe, let's get out of her way, because she's taking pictures of the premises. I'm like, So he pulls me back, and he's like, she's there for us. And I was like, what? And he dropped down to one knee, and that's when I knew he was gonna propose to me, and of course I said yes.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
And so here we are now. We want to make this video just to say thank you guys for being a part of our special day. Thank you guys for being part of our lives and for supporting and loving us. And we are so happy that you're here celebrating with us. And it has been an amazing journey for the both of us. It's just been absolutely seamless for us because it was meant to be. So,
It really was.
yeah, perfect. So, and here she comes.
Oh, she did last time.
You did last time. All right.
She wanted to be in the video.
Okay.
All right. That's it.
Thank you guys. We love you guys. We love you all. And we'll continue to celebrate tonight.
Thank you. Love you.